This discussion is about an adult child and their parent. Some people might be thinking, well, I don't have an adult child. Well, either you have an adult child or you are the adult child of your own parent. And either way, you're going to learn something about you or somebody else. So a mother says to me, when my adult child, Grace, comes to our house, she often asks me very direct questions about what I'm doing and why. What are you doing? Why are you doing it that way? How do I know? Because I've heard her do it. Sometimes it seems intrusive and challenging on her part. It doesn't just seem. She is challenging you and criticizing you because I know her. She's not just asking questions. Her tone translates to this. You stupid old woman. Can you not see that you do pretty much everything wrong and that I'm smarter and better than you? Why don't you listen to me? Now, she's only distantly aware of that message, but she still does it. Mom says, I get afraid when she confronts me. It's kind of aggressive. Being afraid of our own children, and this applies to parents who have children of any age, is one of the most serious and common problems of being a parent. Being afraid of them. And it's uniformly destructive to us and to them. It makes us feel small, and then we can't love them, and it artificially makes them feel powerful. They like that temporary hit of control, so they're even more likely to do it again. Being afraid of our kids is just death. She said, let me give a specific example. She said, we were having a birthday party for my husband, Charles, the other day, and we invited the kids over. My eldest daughter came in, obviously angry and upset, which is kind of her baseline condition. I gave her a hug and asked her about it. And then we worked in the kitchen while she talked about how upset she was. Clearly, she needs your affection and wants it. Okay, that part's good. In the process, though, she's almost certain to challenge your love at every opportunity. Because she's a victim, she's defined love in a way that's different from what you understand. For a victim, love means agree with her, listen to her, sympathize with her, whine with her. In her defense, she did not feel loved by you for nearly all of her life. And so now she's a little skeptical whether you really do love her, especially if you don't love her in her prescribed victim pattern. She carries the past around with her like a precious bag of trash she won't let go of. So you can expect accusations and challenges, testing whether you love her, mostly unconsciously. Mom says, the other kids arrived and were talking in the other room. And I asked if she wanted to join them and I would finish the cooking. The truth was, I was losing my capacity to listen to her talk about how terrible her ex is, how complicated the paperwork of the divorce is, how awful her ex is, repeated just for emphasis, and how annoying her stupid lawyer is, and blah, blah, blah. If you've listened to a victim long enough that you know that there's a lot of blah, 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 repeated many times. You hate hearing her victimhood, partly because you feel responsible for it. And you feel helpless to do anything that will make a difference for her, to help her to be happy. You don't know how to respond to your own daughter. And that's common. Don't feel bad about that. It's about learning how. You get tired of her talking about the divorce and her complaining, and you wanted her out of the room, but you were afraid to offend her, so you made the suggestion that she go talk with her siblings. In other words, you manipulated her. You lied to her. Mom says, later, my daughter asked me, when you suggested that I join the other kids, did you actually want me to leave the kitchen? She caught you in your lie. So because you were not telling the truth about yourself. You lied to her and she could feel it. One reason you hate listening to her victimhood, in addition to the ones I've already talked about, is that you feel trapped once she starts complaining. Victims always trap the listener. You can't be a victim by yourself. You got to have an audience. And so they trap their audience because they demand an audience. It makes them feel more powerful, or actually less powerless. It can make a big difference to you to know that you don't have to listen to her endlessly whine. You think you're trapped, but you're not. You have so many choices. A few examples. You could just say, well, I'm going to go lie down for a rest and go to your bedroom and lie down, or go to social media, or call a friend, or so many things that you could do. Just leave the room. Go into the next room and talk to the other kids and assign somebody to go into the kitchen and finish a particular project. They're going to eat. They can help. When my kids come over here, Donna doesn't hesitate to say, you do this, you do that, you clean up that. She's not the slave. Another thing you could do, you could plan ahead of time so you're not trapped in the kitchen. Just notice how many ways there are, or I'm just proposing off the top of my head for not being trapped. Have kids bring individual parts of the meal, dishes. Do takeout, whatever makes less stress for you. Then you're not trapped in the kitchen with this person that you already know is going to assault you with their victimhood. You trapped yourself in the kitchen with her. You did that. Although in your defense, you didn't see any other choices. Then you tried to lie your way out of it by manipulating her to go spend time with her siblings. See how trapped and dishonest and hopeless and helpless this whole thing is? Both of you, not just her. Mom says, the truth was, yes, I did want her out of the kitchen, but I said no to her because I was afraid of what she'd say if I said yes, I lied to her. So you lied again to cover up the first lie. One lie begets another, If you don't want her there, you kind of have to balance the risks and benefits. Now remember, if you prevent it, it's much easier. She does need the listening because you're her mom. And it is a chance to communicate that you care about her, but you also need your own sanity and you need to be honest. It's fluid. You make your decisions as you go. You decide where you want to be. You decide whether you're in the kitchen with her. You decide how long you're there with her. You decide what kids bring for the meal instead of letting her decide. Because if you let a victim decide, you're going to feel stuck. And you're living proof of it as you tell this story. Mom says, I don't know what the loving thing would have been. Well, honey, she's a flaming victim. You know that already. You spend time with her knowing she will whine, or you don't. You have this dream in your head that somehow you're going to spend time together. It's going to be loving and sweet and she won't whine. That's why you keep doing it. So definitely spend time with her. Listen to her, but do it freely, knowing that the instant you feel like that's about all I can handle, you go do something else. What screws you up is you think you're trapped and have to stay there, and then you hate it. And because you know the trapped moment is coming and you're going to hate it, you tend to hate it from the beginning. No, I listen to victims in social occasions lots of times, knowing that at any moment I can be done. You'll feel so much better with that freedom. In the time you do talk to her, remember, you're her mother. So listening is your job when you got the capacity to do it. If she can't talk to you, who's she going to talk to? And you don't have to fix things. That's another part of your feeling trapped. You don't have to agree with her. Another part of your feeling trapped. You just listen as long as you can, freely, and then you're done. Mom says everything almost with her is victim and drama, and the things I do are always wrong in her eyes. Yeah, and yet we still need to listen to our kids for as long as we can be loving. Now, the rules change if she's whining about you, because that's a direct assault on you. If she's talking about her lawyer and her ex, and who cares? But if she's attacking you, pay attention to this answer. You say, yep, I did all that. I was wrong in the past. I had no idea how to love you, stupid, and as I've told you before. And now I'm learning some stuff. So now it's your job to believe that I'm learning to love you or not. But if you choose not, you lose. Because if you just distrust me all the time, all you'll ever see is evidence that nothing's changed. And that's up to you. You say this to her. That will completely disarm a victim, because what you're saying is, I'm not going to play the victim game. I wouldn't recommend that last phrase. I'm not going to play the victim game. But you just say, I've changed, and now you get to choose whether you believe it or not. When she accuses you of not loving her, you admit you didn't. And again, you say you're loving over and over. You do not argue with the victim about her accusations of the past. You don't say, well, it wasn't that bad, or well, no, that thing didn't happen. You will never win that argument with the victim. You just go, yeah, I screwed up, and move to the present, as I've described, giving you the actual words. Mom says, another question from her. Do you tell everybody in real love about the details of my divorce? And Mom says, I've told 2 people about it, but not all the details. But now she's talking to me. I feel so obligated to answer her questions, because if I answer them completely and describe exactly how much I've talked about her, she's going to get more angry. Maybe I don't have to answer her questions. I don't know what to do. Well, you don't have to answer her questions. When you know that the answer is going to bring nothing but more victimhood and anger, you don't have to do that. It's just dumb. In this case, though, simply not answering will be worse than a wise answer. You don't answer a victim, they're going to feel more victimized and come at you. So you could so easily say, quote, I don't share your business with everybody, but I have discussed it with a couple of close friends. 1, because those 2 would never tell anybody, partly because they don't know you and they don't know anybody you know. And 2, I need support myself in order to be strong enough to love you. You're done. That's it. It's 1 sentence. It's less than 30 seconds. If she keeps trying to make you feel guilty or asks more things, you just repeat it. What you want is to be able to answer her and have her be sweet and kind in response. And you got to let go of that control. You're afraid of her acting like she's victimized by you. Give it up, kid. If she feels victimized, because she does, by breathing, that's not your responsibility anymore. Mom says, my answer was that I talked to people to get help, and she made a comment about it. It's nobody's business. We talked about that. You just repeat what I said. It's really easy. But Mom says, I got overwhelmed because Mom was relating this to me later. And she said, I got overwhelmed by all the whining, and so I stomped out of the house for hours. That sucks. The family gathers for a fun time, and you, the mother, in your house, stomp out of the house. Probably wasn't all that fun for them either. But you didn't understand as well as you do now. So you'll do better the next time, which is the idea. There's just really no reason to feel guilty about it. You're better prepared. You're better prepared to let her reaction go. You're better prepared not to be trapped. You're better prepared about what to say to her. In the end, the formula is pretty simple. You be yourself. Now, constantly improving yourself, sure, but be yourself. Don't apologize for it. Be you. It's the only thing you're going to be any good at anyway. Let other people be themselves, including victims and angry and whining and whatever, and don't take responsibility for how they behave. Although we are kind of responsible in the case of young children, but your child is not a young child. And then, well, enjoy your life. You be you, let other people be them, and enjoy what you got. Eliminate all the pain and fear that you can from your life. That happens in layers, so you can discover who you really are, so you really can be that. Enjoy it. Be grateful for it.